Hey everybody, so I just wanted to jump on here and leave my review for Fast X, the 10th entry in the Fast and Furious franchise. The fact that this series is continuing to, continue, it's just astounding to me because this is a movie that I did not expect to go past maybe the first 5, maybe, and then all of a sudden we get 6, and then, a 7th, and then an 8th, and then, I'm like, okay, are we done? And then it got to a 9th, and now here we are at 10, which was, again, said to be the very last one, and here we are dividing the 10th movie into a 2-parter, so we're going to get an 11th movie, which I just don't believe that will be the last either, because the movies make a lot of money. A lot of people love watching them, which I'm guilty of. I've seen every single Fast movie in theaters, with the exception of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, which a lot of people do tell me is one of the best ones, and I have not seen that one. Anyway, that being said, I do watch them. I am a frequent moviegoer of the Fast movies, and yet I somehow wish they would stop, but yet I can't seem to remove myself from the theater once they come out. And now that we're on Fast X, okay, let me just get into it, because I will say this part before I even just destroy the movie to bits, which is I thought it was much better than the previous one, the 9th movie, which I thought was completely awful. I found nothing redeemable about that one. I really couldn't even get into it, even for fun. I thought the 9th was atrocious, and the fact that they went to space, I thought you really just jumped the shark. Because if you remember, the movies started, like the original Fast and Furious began as people just street racing for pink slips. That was it. It was very simple in LA. When they got in accidents, they got injured. When they got shot, they got killed. It's like nowadays in these movies, all of a sudden everybody is the bionic man or bionic woman. You get shot, you die, but you're resurrected. You get in an accident, you walk away unscathed. And I'm thinking to myself, how is that even possible? Not to mention, we're no longer even racing for pink slips. We are CIA operatives. That is where this movie has completely taken itself. It's like, in which direction and at which point did a producer say, okay, here's what I'm thinking. I think now they have to become more than just officers or more than just executives. They need to be like, I don't even know how to even word it at this point, because the movies are so completely removed from reality. It is just hilarious. I don't know how they do it, but I will say that they do entertain. That is the one thing that keeps it going for itself. You can't help but sit in the movie at this point and just go and roll your eyes about how atrocious everything is appearing on screen. It is just laughable, but yet there is something engaging about it, I will say. And I love the addition in this movie that they brought in Brie Larson. We have Charlize Theron returning. We have Jason Momoa, who I think had to have the most fun doing this film. But it's just one of those things where at this point, I don't even care about the story. There really isn't too much of one. Again, they keep having characters that we assumed were dead just keep coming back. So no one really dies, which kind of, annoys me, because in a film, it's like, it's a profound and a really impactful moment when a character is killed off. And I think they should leave it that way. Don't keep bringing them back. I don't want to, Actually, I don't really care. If you haven't seen the film, I'm going to spoil something here. But briefly, just for a moment, we get a cameo at the very end that Gal Gadot returns into the franchise. And we were led to believe that she had been killed off in the 6th movie. And here she is, just returning again. And I'm thinking Michelle Rodriguez was brought back. Now Gal Gadot is being brought back. Like, everyone keeps being brought back. And I'm like, stop. We can let them die. I will say Michelle Rodriguez's character, though, I thought was very important. And I really liked the spin on that, how they decided they thought she died, but Letty was going to come back in some way. And I do appreciate that they brought her back in the way that they did. I thought that was a nice, clever twist. But now they're doing it to everybody. It's just not as fun anymore. I'm no longer engaged in that concept. Anyway, like I said, I think I'm getting a little too carried away with the fact that I'm so invested in these movies, which I shouldn't be, because they're just silly at this point. Will I be watching the 11th one and potential final one? Yes, I will. Do I think you should watch Fast X? I'm going to leave it up to you. If you want to go and sit in the theater and have some fun with some popcorn just for 2 hours and some change, then go, by all means. It will be worth the time in terms of entertainment. You won't be bored. But it's not a movie I think that you need to rush to see by any means, I mean. And I don't think this is a film that you need to necessarily watch at home if you don't care for these films. But Fast X, it is what it is. You know what you're signing up for. It's camp. They know it at this point. It's become completely meta and over the top and just jumping the shark, like I said earlier. So if you're down for all that, then check it out. Otherwise, you're not missing much. Yeah, those are my thoughts. If you have seen Fast X, please drop your comments down below. Where do you rank the Fast movies in this franchise? And what did you think of this one and the addition of the new actors? Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Thank you for listening.